Okay, Jerry, you got me loud and clear?
Yes.
Right, we're off. Jerry Springer, welcome.
Well, thanks. It's nice to be here.
Okay, now, Jerry, tell us your name.
Jerry Springer.
Are you bigger than your name?
Well, I'm just a schlub that has a show.
Wait a minute, hang on. You do present perhaps the best talk TV show in the world, certainly one of the most successful in the States. In fact, I gather it's just gone to #1.
Yeah, it's now #1. But yeah, it's doing really good now. But, because it's hot and it's kind of new and it's incredibly outrageous, so people are taking notice.
So is it going to get more outrageous?
Well, I think it's impossible to be. I mean, outrageous is outrageous. There aren't degrees of it.
Somebody said outrageous is as outrageous does, and when it does, it doesn't when it gets to the end.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So when you go on your show,
yes,
one of the things I've noticed is that you are moving from side to side.
Right.
Now, that is one of the elements of genius. Why did you choose to do that?
Yeah, I just keep walking around and watching what's going on. I try not to be the focal point of the show.
A lot of people just come forward into the camera.
Yes.
Is the lateral movement something to do with the modesty or what?
I guess I never thought of it in those psychological terms, but I mean,
was that your idea?
Well, I guess. No one ever told me. I just kind of walk around.
Is that sort of a pendulum thing? What's going on?
Right. I like to be back with the audience. I don't want to be on the stage.
Right. Yeah, we don't really know who you are.
Right.
It's kind of like, wait a minute, is that guy standing up? I know, he's the guy with the mic.
That's exactly right.
One of the things that these idiots over here don't do is a decent warm-up act. You do one, don't you?
Yeah, I go out there just to, warm up the audience, tell some silly jokes.
And to warm them up, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, is part of that to warm them up?
Well, there's not.
So what sort of things do you say to them?
I just, I go in there and I tell them that, we were out in L.A. recently and taping a show, and for 2 hours this gorgeous woman was banging on my hotel door. Well, finally I let her out.
Right, now they're all thinking that she's on the outside.
Yes.
Because the woman was on the wrong side of the door.
There you go.
Okay. Now, I want to look at the meat and spunk of the show, which is the guests, right?
Yes,
now,
that's it.
I wonder which sort of stories you would and wouldn't do. I mean, at the moment, you're quite prepared to do anything to be outrageous.
We won't do anything that's normal.
So would you do I fell in love with a guy who shot my husband?
Yes.
Okay.
That's outrageous, don't you agree?
It's terrible. Would you do I fell in love with a guy who was shooting me?
Well, if...
Brackets, it was horny as the bullets went inside of me.
It was horny as the bullet... Who was horny?
The woman found it sexually attractive in some way. Yes?
You've got it. Well,
yes?
It's outrageous. It's outrageous. As long as it's outrageous, it gets on.
I fell in love with a guy who shot my kids. It's outrageous.
Yeah, that's...
Shot the kids.
Yeah, I mean...
Brackets, it was something to do with the blood and the screams.
I mean, as I said...
Okay, so that's a yes. I fell in love with a guy who shot my kids.
You're not listening to me. I'm saying anything that is outrageous is yes.
My doctor fingers my kids up the ass.
I said anything that is outrageous is on the show.
Would you even have...
Keep giving me a list.
Well,
give me a list of something that's normal, and then I'll say, no, that doesn't belong on the show.
My husband's a skid, so he keeps beating himself up about it.
I don't know how many times I have to answer your question.
You would say yes.
Right.
What I want to know is, what really gets you down in this life of ours? People suffering from Pash Crane's Jubosa. I mean, that's just horrible. All the industrial diseases, people poisoned by phosphates and buggerides.
That sounds awful.
I mean, some of them even lose the use of their necks.
Diseases are always sad.
Horrible. These children losing their ability to use their thoughts.
Yeah,
when they have them, but they just can't use them.
Yeah, I mean, there's great pain in the world. One of the prices of life is that, and it isn't fair.
We haven't talked about a final thought.
Okay.
Yeah, now they're very important in the show.
Yes.
Where does the inspiration for that come from?
I used to do it when I was doing the news.
If you had to sum up the situation with Saddam Hussein, Bill Clinton.
I think my notion there is that Saddam is clearly a danger to his own people as well as the surrounding nations. But I don't think what we ought to do at this point is to kill more innocent people just to get him at this point.
Right.
If there's a way to remove him without killing innocent people, then obviously I'm in favor of that. I don't know that anyone has found out exactly how to do that, but I think we should still try.
And so when you write that down and say it, it actually turns into something that makes sense, yeah?